So now I'm going to do, before getting the last Stanley figurine, I am going to do one ending I've gotten before.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. It's bucket time.
And it's going to be one with the bucket. We got the quote-unquote good ending.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Oh, that's hilarious.
In here,
said the bucket.
go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone,
said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult.
Oh, I remember now.
But there isn't
That's
exactly
what the
an instructional
frickin'
video on
old-fashioned,
comedy where
like,
one can watch the full...
instruction video is like for the alternate to the
Let's take a
frickin'
look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
How about no?
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, with each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles, all of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
You're not our predators, you distribute.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back. I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud? Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back.
Yep. I didn't remember well enough from the previous video I did do this ending, but yes, it reprompts you until you do what you're supposed to. The left instead of the right door this time, like the original ending without the bucket.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so mental, I think I saw him playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
How does it reset now?
Here's the door, just
No, it
go.
doesn't. Hope there's a way to get it back to where you actually have to hit stuff on the keypad again, like the broom closet ending eventually resetting for the not having the bucket with you and not being boarded up. I wanted to check that, but anyway, now let's begin the game again and finish this off. And I've decided, you guys already know, but this will be the finale video. I'll just have it be like an hour 10 long video for the finale. Before this, you guys will have seen the extra videos videos I recorded of doing the Ultra Deluxe exclusive freaking endings that you can only get once per playthrough. Starting with the new content door.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
So there's one figurine left, and it's in a path that you cannot take with the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Head to the cargo room.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or 2. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, tingle.
Oh, I did not remember that dialogue. Oh my god, I am so glad I stayed in here for it. Didn't just move on.
Really.
There.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So then the extra videos, I presume, is at least 2 before this. You guys know I don't yet because I haven't recorded them yet. The extra videos you guys see before this one. And then this video should be the absolute last things I do for this entire Let's Play. There should be no more videos.
Stanley was so bad
one.
at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
But yeah, no buckets beyond this point. That's why you have to go this way to get the last figurine. That's why you cannot have the bucket with you for getting this one. But yeah, another thing I'm going to do once the thing happens after this, I'm not going to get into it. I do know what happens. I don't know the dialogue or anything, but I do know what happens. But after the thing happens, I will... here's what I'm going to do. I will keep going and see if maybe anything changes, such as maybe if you can get the new content stuff again that I think right now is still... But right now will leave to be one time only per playthrough for the new Ultra Deluxe content, if you can get that again or if anything changes. But otherwise, after the said thing is done, that will be it for the video. And if there's nothing more worth after the thing I keep referring to that I'm not actually saying what it is yet, the video will be cut off. Otherwise, that won't be the end of it. But yeah. Apologies for my somewhat awkward explaining, but whatever. You have to stand on this side of the fence.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
If you know about the red and blue doors, this is one of the most obvious hints, the easiest places to figure out where you need to go for the figurines, because red and blue door. And there's a Stanley figurine. Now, get that if you want. If you don't want to get it, fine. If you want to get it right away. Do not enter the red or blue door, because if you enter if you enter the red door, you want you to, it closes behind you, you can't come back. If you enter the blue door, when it resets for the next thing, where it's like, I think you misunderstood me, like, when that reloads and the doors are on opposite sides of each other, this door is no longer open. Anyway.
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
A chair. This chair wasn't here before. Like...
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Yeah, no. Because it leads to the one thing in Rocket League endings. Or ending, I mean.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines just one more time.
Okay. It's supposed to be an altar? Oh! Non-speed zone. Ha! Nice. Good times. $2014. Well, hey, that one has nothing on it. The greatest wealth is memory.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
What the heck? Really?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines just one more time. Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley. And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Extreme bathrooms.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
I don't think it would have been under the stairs. Both of those are incorrect. There isn't one in the boss's office, and the under the stairs is not where I got it.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh,
no.
Well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Bullcrap. Stairs that way. Yeah, I can't go back the other way. Son of a crap. I want to restart and see what happens if I do it frickin' wrong. Maybe I will have this be 2 videos. Because I gotta see if it's gonna give it to you regardless of which path you take, because those were both incorrect. Because under the stairs was my 4th one, not my 3rd one.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those Figleys. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
I am strongly inclined to believe that regardless of which one you choose, it's going to be quote-unquote right, even though it's not.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain?
Yeah, I had a feeling.
You're so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley. And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your 3rd mini Stan? Can you remember? No. Under the stairs was the 4th place you found the figure, not the 3rd. Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If under the stairs feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
Because that's factually incorrect. That's not making a judgment. That's a fact. And of course it loops you back to the pink room. But hey, another figurine I might not have had otherwise.
What came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone where it must have happened.
Anyway, now it's time to take the stairs. If there's a thing there... Oh. Okay, I guess that's where I go, because I guess it's 2 paths the same way. Yeah.
This was the 5th mini-Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
How you found it? Like frickin' 2006 to like 2012, 13 videos. What's that back there? I love how they did it like an old YouTube video, man. That is too freaking good. Oh. Best boy narrator, sorry Stanley. Copyright the narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Interestingly, now I get the feeling there's gonna be an invisible wall so you can't die, but I've gotta try. So let's see, can you fall and die? Nope. You're on rails, so to speak. I kind of figured they wouldn't let you kill Stanley here, but I had to know before continuing on. Hey! Get a clear view of this. Dock A, Dock B, Dock C, Dock D, Dock E. You just couldn't help yourself, could you, narrator? You know this is exactly what you said you didn't want to do, giving us a reward.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works?
Chat.
All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
I kind of had a feeling the red and blue doors were going to lead to the same place. I'll pick this up. I have one more than you're supposed to have. Supposed to, quote unquote. You are in the present.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone. No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Oh, I love how they freaking took the loading screen and rolled it back. That was too good. At the pass! I gotta stand up. Ugh. Yeah, this is definitely going to be 2 videos now. Oh, well.
Okay, yes. The room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone...
Does that mean I'm going to have to do this freaking thing twice? Or one more time after this? I think I'm going to have to be able to freaking get the figurine for taking left for the boss's office and not the freaking... other one initially. Actually, no, I'm gonna have to get that figurine first. I'm gonna have to freaking restart this one more time to really get all the figurines.
This one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
It's even better sped up.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Maybe you don't have to. Oh, so you do, because it's black and won't let you continue. So I do have to freaking restart.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Choose to leave it. Nice. Actually, this is where I want to restart the game now. Because I don't know if like that figurine's gonna stop me from being able to restart it or not.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?